few weeks ago, I arrived to Nazare, Portugal for the first time in my life and completely hated it.
Oh, I thought that I will die!
I had been preparing for this trip for a very long time. For many years, I'd been training, saving money, and sacrificing so many things in my life to make this happen. And when I finally got there, I started to completely lose it. Hi, I'm Carolina Von, and in this video, I'm gonna share a story how my anxiety and self-doubt and sabotage almost stopped me from following my dreams. And also, I'm gonna share some specific tips to overcome it, and I really hope it will be helpful for you, whether you're trying to achieve some goals in sports or in business, in your career, or follow your passion in any other way. I had been dreaming to come and surf Nazare for many years, and all this time people laughed at my face when I shared that I was gonna try and get ready to surf this wave. And at first, of course, I got upset by all this negative feedback offline and online. But then I came to the point when I actually started to love it because it gives the fuel to my fire, and it just made me realize that I'm only doing it for myself, like to reach my own goals and not to try to prove other people wrong, and becoming better with small steps makes me feel really happy and enjoying the process. So I'm really happy that I found the way out of this external validation and seeking for approval of other people, which is very important, and I'm going to talk later about this. So my trip to Nazare, Portugal got cancelled last year because of the visa issues and also the money and everything else. And this year I arrived there beginning of November, and I just couldn't believe it was happening in real life. But for the first 2 days, literally the entire time, I was just sitting in my room crying because everything felt so different. It was my first time in Portugal. I had never been there before. And I'm very used to traveling. Like I lived in Southeast Asia for 5 years in Bali, Indonesia, traveled around many different islands in Indonesia, and then I lived in Mexico for 6 months. So it was supposed to be easy, right? But everything felt so different and unusual to me. I was missing Mexico, I was missing Bali, the States as well. And instead of trying to sort out my things there in Nazare in Portugal, I was looking for cheap flights to Los Angeles or Honolulu. I really wanted to finally leave to the North Shore, which totally made zero sense because I just arrived to Europe from the States in October to make this trip happen. I had previously sold all my things, all the boards, the leashes, the fins, the impact vest, and everything I owned in Mexico to be able to travel to Europe. And also I wanted to change my equipment because it was not the right size for me and the right dimensions. I was hoping to find a suitable board for me there in Nazare. My intention was to do the towing sessions with the jet ski and also try to paddle, which I did. And I found a great board there. I bought it used secondhand from one of my friends, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm gonna share videos later, stay tuned. So during the very first day, instead of trying to find like a car for rent, a place to stay, boards, leashes, impacts, and everything that I needed to surf, I was looking for cheap flights to the States, and so I couldn't get it together. I kept asking myself, what am I doing here, and why am I even doing it? That self-negative talk completely took over, and I kept asking myself and telling myself that I'm not good enough to surf here, maybe I shouldn't do it. And what really helped me here is my own rule that I made in Mexico, surfing in Puerto Escondido. I had spent 6 months there this year, and it taught me a lesson. When everything goes wrong and you can't get it together and you're so overwhelmed with things that you just procrastinate and beat yourself more and more down. Get yourself out, start to train whatever you're doing, whatever you love. For me, it's surfing and also running, yoga, breath work. Many people ask me about breath work, and I can for sure recommend 2 things to get ready for surfing bigger waves or to just get rid of your fear in surfing and generally in the water. So the first thing is the online course Survival Apnea, which I took in Bali. It's really great. It focuses on your confidence in the water to perform better. Check out the link in the description box below. And the second thing is the free app that I use That's a screenshot. You can get it in App Store for free, and I use it to train every day, and it's super helpful as well. If you're interested to learn more about breathwork, check out my other videos and share any questions in the comment box below. I'll make sure to cover them in my next videos. Following my rule, I got myself out from the apartment, restarted all the trainings, the breathwork, yoga. I went for a surf, and it felt absolutely fantastic. It made up for all the terrible feeling, all the anxiety, the self-doubt, the self-sabotage, feeling desperate, wanting to die and give up, quit, never surf again, never travel again. This is exactly how I had been feeling when I arrived. It helped me to reconnect with my most favorite place on earth, the ocean. It was completely worth it. I felt maybe for the first time in my life that I actually belonged here. I am where I need to be, where I want to be, following my dreams, getting better every day instead of beating yourself down and having all these negative thoughts and self-negative talk about how you're not good enough. It's definitely worth just focusing on a brighter side and getting better every day, even with super tiny small steps. So my tip number one, when you're feeling overwhelmed and totally start to procrastinate, not being able to do anything to complete even super easy basic tasks that you are often able to complete. Realize that you're caught by anxiety, by stress, you're overwhelmed, and that's okay. Allow yourself to feel these feelings, but on top of that, start and make a plan. Write down the things that you need to start working on to be able to achieve your goal. Then my second tip would be, don't underestimate the power of small steps. So small progress is still progress. It's better to take a super tiny little step rather than not making any movement at all. And I think often with anxiety, self-doubt, and all these stressful thoughts and feelings, this is exactly what's happening. Like, instead of doing small progress and taking small steps, some people like me completely shut down and just do nothing. So the list that you made in the first step, try to accomplish a small, tiny task every day. Start moving forward, and then it will make you feel better and eventually help you get rid of this feeling of shutting down. And number three, which I believe is the most important thing, all the self-negative talk, completely cut it off and keep moving. There is absolutely no sense in beating yourself down. And I think an easy thought, realizing we're all human, we're not perfect, we're supposed to make mistakes, we just need to keep trying despite this fear of failure, making some progress every day. So getting myself out there to surf, reconnecting with the ocean, with nature, falling in love forever with this place. I started to love every tiny thing in Portugal, in Nazare. I love the food, the people, the language, the area there, and the nature. It's absolutely adorable. So finally, when I got rid of this anxiety and stress, I looked at everything in a totally different way. It helped me finally see and realize the beauty and the magic of this place. I made a plan of all the things that I had to sort out, to find. I found a board, I got an impact vest, and I found many things secondhand with good deals and good price. I'll share more tips about the things that you need for a surf trip if you're going to surf in Portugal. For example, a wetsuit is a must. Check out some wetsuits from Hurley. The link is in the description box. For this season, around November, December, I'd for sure recommend a 5'4". If you come earlier in October, I think a 3'4" would be a better fit for paddling, because when I paddled in a 5'4" in November, it was a bit too hot for me. In my next videos, I'm gonna share more details about surfing in Portugal, surf spots, and what equipment you need to bring with you or buy there, and also more about traveling in Nazare, where to stay, things to do. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel to stay tuned. If you have any questions about traveling around Portugal, make sure to drop your feedback in the comment box below. I'll be happy to cover all aspects about traveling in Portugal in my next videos. Thanks a lot for watching and following me on this journey from existential dread to pursuing my true passion. As my therapist shared with me, the two main fears of people in this world are the fear of judgment and the fear of failure. And I truly believe these two fears are the biggest ones. Share your feedback in the comment if you agree or not, or if you think there are other fears that may hit harder. This trip to Nazare and this period of my life when I started to sabotage my own dreams was for sure powered by these two fears. It made me unbelievably happy to actually overcome them and keep moving. I also went there for my birthday. I just turned 33, the Jesus year, and I decided to spend this day alone, just with my son, very far away from all my family and friends. That felt very weird and unusual for me. And this time I took some time to reflect on what I really want in my life, what really matters and what I want to achieve. And I felt super grateful to this experience, to this place, the waves, the ocean, all the kind people I met there in Nazare, all the support and encouragement I received on social as well. Feeling very grateful and blessed. And by sharing this journey transparently and honestly on my channel here, with all the failures, mistakes and psychological traps and everything else that stops me from following my dreams, I'm hoping to share some encouragement and kindness for you, whether you're trying to start a new hobby or a new business, choose a new career path, move to another country, start something absolutely crazy, like a very creative project, or change what you do for a living completely. Whatever it is, if you're scared of being judged and you're scared of failure, try to follow these 3 easy tips that helped me, that I shared in this video, and I hope it will be useful for you. We're all here together to try our best and be the best versions of ourselves. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.